Tonight on a special edition of SUTV News, a breakdown of the High Street homicide investigation.
And a delayed university response that left students in the dark.
All that and more right now. Thanks for joining us on SUTV News. I'm Callan Cole.
And I'm Jacob Hitz.
2 men were shot off campus late Sunday night on Rotz Avenue. SUTV's Patrick Ramsdale has the story.
I'm standing here off High Street where a fatal shooting occurred Sunday evening, leaving 1 man dead, another in the hospital in critical condition. At approximately 8 p.m. on October 6th, gunshots were heard on Rotz Avenue behind the 200 block of High Street. Police arrived at the scene at around 8:15 where they found 2 men who had been shot. 21-year-old Shakur Myers was found dead at the scene. 21-year-old Samir Stevenson was found shot inside a Subaru Legacy and was quickly airlifted to Holy Spirit Hospital in Camp Hill. Police are searching for Shippensburg students Quentin Furlow and Clayton Wilson, who they believe are the men behind the shooting. The whereabouts of these persons of interest are currently unknown, which is why the police are warning the community to stay alert.
Right now, they are considered armed and dangerous.
A second press conference was held on Tuesday afternoon at the Pennsylvania State Police Barracks in Carlisle, where they gave an update on the investigation. If you have any additional information, please contact the State Police at 717-249-2121. For SUTV News, I'm Patrick Ramsdale.
The Pennsylvania State Police stated with confidence that the murder of Shakur Myers is an isolated incident and directly related to drug activity.
Monday afternoon, state police confirmed the suspects and victims of the shootings that occurred late Sunday. All four men involved were confirmed to be from Philadelphia. The victims were both non-Shippensburg University students. 21-year-old Shakur Richard Myers was pronounced dead at the scene. 21-year-old Samir Rodney Stevenson was in critical condition and was airlifted to Holy Spirit Hospital with gunshot wounds. The person of interest in the case have also been identified, and they are both students at Shippensburg University. Quentin Eric Furlow Jr. and Clayton Steve Wilson, both 20 years old, are said to not be near campus, but are armed and considered dangerous. Police have released vehicle information that both persons of interest may be operating. Furlow is said to be driving a gray 2011 Infiniti G37 with the license plate KZJ4211. Wilson may be driving a gray 2009 Nissan Maxima with the license plate KYE0169. Both vehicles have a Pennsylvania registration. If anybody sees either of these vehicles or men, please call the police immediately.
Pennsylvania State Police held a press conference at Shippensburg Police Station Monday afternoon. It was there we learned the names and car information of the persons of interest who were confirmed to be university students by SU officials. PSP also wanted to assure students they will be protected during the investigation.
We are trying to create a safe environment for them. We want them to be aware and to know what to look for in case they still might be in the area, but we just want them just to be alert.
An hour after the press conference, the university canceled classes and started increasing police presence on campus. While classes began again Tuesday morning, anxiety was still on high. And on Tuesday afternoon, state police gave us some answers at a second press conference. Megan Talley gives us more.
In a press conference in Carlisle Tuesday, Lieutenant Mark Major revealed a motive and charges in Sunday's deadly shooting.
We are confident the murder of Shakur Myers appears to be isolated and directly related to drug activity.
Major told us authorities conducted a search warrant at the persons of interest apartment here on High Street. The apartment of Clayton Wilson and Quentin Furlow contained loads of ammunition, marijuana, and packets of marijuana. Police then went to the scene of the shooting on Rotz Avenue to conduct a search warrant of the victim's car.
Several hours later, a search warrant was executed on a 2019 Subaru Legacy recovered from the scene. This is the same vehicle Shakur Myers was located outside of deceased, and Samir Stevenson was seated in the driver's seat with gunshot injuries. In close proximity to both of those men, we recovered a stolen Ruger LCP .380 caliber handgun. During the search of the vehicle, packaged marijuana and a digital scale were located amongst other items of evidentiary value.
As a result, PA State Police is issuing warrants of arrest to 21-year-old Samir Stevenson and 20-year-old Clayton Wilson, both of Philadelphia. Both men are being charged for felony drug possession with intent to deliver, and Stevenson will also be charged for stolen property of a firearm. Here on location on High Street, I'm Megan Talley, SUTV News.
Major said Stevenson will be arrested as soon as he is discharged from Holy Spirit Hospital, where his condition was, quote, downgraded, unquote. The persons of interest, Furlow and Wilson, have yet to be found.
In the midst of these events, many SHIP students responded to the ways in which the university handled the off-campus shooting. SUTV's Katie Swaggart has more.
Nearly 4 days since the High Street homicide, students continue to cope with the aftermath of the incident. Many students were within 2 or 3 blocks of the shooting in their off-campus housing, with little to no information about what occurred until a couple hours later. As a result, many students took to social media to voice their concern about the university's delayed response. Take a look. Despite police presence on the scene Sunday evening, students did not understand why the university took as long as they did to inform students about the shooting on High Street. Many students took to social media to voice their concern. One student on Twitter saying they were appalled by the lack of communication, with others saying the university underperformed. SHIP alumni also voiced their disappointment, with one woman tweeting, "Your students are human beings, not tuition dollars." Senior Gabby James says that the immediate alert was necessary for off-campus students.
Yeah, immediate detail what was happening. If we knew what was happening at that point and they messaged us a delayed response without enough detail, I think that's just not right.
James, like many other upperclassmen, lives on Richard Avenue, just mere feet away from where the homicide occurred, and only knew what was happening based off the police lights she could see through her window.
I think that initially, if the campus would have provided more detail, that would have been the most appropriate thing to do.
Similar to her classmates, James posted on Facebook saying that the initial messages she did receive from the university were vague, up until the students began posting on social media.
I think after we all posted those types of things, they started to go into more detail with the emails that they were sending from the Pennsylvania State Police and on behalf of the university's police director.
Following an email from President Carter and canceled classes on Monday afternoon, over 2,000 students also signed a petition calling for canceled classes until the suspects were taken into custody. Many campus programs and resources are still available to students following Sunday's shooting. Anybody who feels impacted by the incident can call 866-435-7268. I'm Katie Swaggart. Back to you guys at the desk.
With the events of Sunday evening shooting, SHIP took action to ensure their students' safety. Here's SUTV's Tyler Dancison.
The tragic double shooting Sunday evening left students and other individuals in a panic. SHIP sent out an emergency text and email alert not long after the events, warning students to avoid the area of High Street, and another alert later that night saying that there was no immediate threat to campus. Throughout the week, SHIP saw an increase in police activity on campus, along with maps spread throughout, with direct information for any student that feels unsafe. If you are interested in signing up for the SHIP Emergency Alert System, simply go to ship.edu/emergency and click on Register for SU Alerts and log in with your SHIP account. You are able to add 3 different phone numbers and emails to your account. For more information, make sure to visit sutvnews.org. Back to you guys at the desk.
Early Thursday afternoon, SGA's Vice President of Internal Affairs, Isaac Dietrich, reached out to student media. He announced SGA's newest campaign to change the culture of SHIP's campus. Dietrich, along with the administration, wants to create a place that is more inclusive and united by promoting the Raider Way. When we come back, the Center for Land Use and Sustainability hosts a climate change forum.
Stay with us. As summer transitions to fall, climate change rallies unite people across the country. Nearly 1 month since Greta Thunberg arrived in New York City, SHIP has taken its own approach to understanding climate science. The Center for Land Use and Sustainability held a forum this Wednesday. Professors Claire Jantz and Tim Hawkins spoke about climate change, ways to make a difference, and what it can mean for the planet in the future.
2018 was the 4th warmest year ever recorded. So I think allowing science to dictate our policy decisions across the board, not just on this issue, is probably the smartest thing we can do.
We are literally down to the wire in terms of our timeline for being able to make a real difference.
I'm Callan Cole, SUTV News. For more information about how to get involved with the CLUS, visit centerforlanduse.org. A new study indicates that a healthier diet can improve depression in young adults. The study was published Wednesday in the journal PLOS ONE. It found that eating a healthy diet for 3 weeks improved depressive symptoms in college-age young adults. The study's lead author said cutting down processed foods and eating more fruits, vegetables, and fish resulted in improvements. Those who kept up with the diet for 3 months continued to experience an improved outlook on life. The average age of participants in the small randomized trial was 19.
It might officially feel like fall, but that just means it's the start of flu season. Eder Health Center and local pharmacies are teaming up to prepare students before it's too late. SUTV's Carmine Chicatano has more.
With the temperature dropping and leaves beginning to change, it's time to start thinking about the upcoming flu season. Symptoms of the flu include a runny nose, sneezing, coughing, sore throat, and headache. Typically, symptoms will hang around for 3 to 7 days but may linger longer. In preparation, the Eder Health Center and Giant Pharmacy have teamed up to provide access to flu shots for Shippensburg students. Every Tuesday this month, the health center will provide flu shots around campus. Over-the-counter medicines such as NyQuil and Dayquil may also temporarily relieve some of these symptoms of the flu. If you do get the flu, one of the best things to do is stay in your room and rest. In addition to helping you recover, it prevents the flu from spreading to your classmates. For more information, stop by the Eder Health Center on the lower level of Naga Hall, or you can visit online at ship.edu. For SUTV News, I'm Carmine Chicatano.
Eder Health Center is open Monday through Fridays from 9 to 5 p.m. and on Saturdays from 12:30 to 4 p.m. The Philadelphia 76ers didn't let the Chinese controversy get in the way of the game. The team hosted the Guangzhou Luong Lions Tuesday night. This as China continues to not air NBA preseason games due to a now deleted tweet by Daryl Morey, the GM of the Houston Rockets, that showed support for the pro-democracy protesters in Hong Kong. There were some protesters in the stands Tuesday night, but others felt sports and politics don't mix.
Do have a right to talk about how they feel. In the end of the day, basketball is basketball, and it's for the love of the game.
It shouldn't be about the money. The money's going to come. You know, if they want to be a part of NBA, if we want it to be a part of China, then it's got to be about basketball.
The NBA originally called Morey's tweet regrettable, which was blasted by politicians. Commissioner Adam Silver then issued another statement reading in part, quote, "The NBA will not put itself in a position of regulating what players, employees, and team owners say or will not say," end quote.
Think you know where the dirtiest place in your house is? Well, you might be scrubbing the wrong place. In today's Health Minute, Reed Binion directs your sponges to the germs you should be tackling.
There are germs lurking everywhere in our homes, from the kitchen to the bathroom. But what exactly should we be cleaning and how often? In the bathroom, don't just focus on scrubbing the toilet. It's actually cleaner than you think. According to microbiologist Charles Gerber, if you want to cut down on the bacteria in the rest of the room, make sure you close the lid before you flush. Fecal matter can get tossed several feet in the air, which means your toothbrush, makeup, and even towels could get hit. Speaking of towels, those moist cloths are the perfect place for bacteria like E. coli to grow. So make sure you wash them with hot water every 3 or 4 days, Gerber says. In the kitchen, those rags and sponges used to wipe down everything are perfect at collecting bacteria like E. coli and salmonella. Think you can just throw them in the microwave or dishwasher to clean? Think again. Your best bet is to just replace them weekly. And surprisingly, water reservoirs like the ones in your coffee machine are one of the germiest places in the kitchen, according to the National Safety Foundation. Check the owner's manual on how to clean it monthly. For today's Health Minute, I'm Reed Binion.
When we come back in world news, at least 11 are dead following a Turkish military operation.
And a Know Your Ship segment that'll make you want to get up and dance.
Of all the things you've done with your bike, donating it to Goodwill may be the most incredible of all. Your donations help fund job placement and training for people in your community, which means your stuff can be more powerful than you think. Goodwill. Donate stuff, create jobs.
Morning, Gary. We are GetSchooled.com. You want a college education, don't you? You know you do. Yeah, but I don't know where to start. That's why we're here. We're free, handsome, I think we're breathtaking, and here to guide you through every step of the way, starting with attendance. Gary, finance.
We taught him how to hit a baseball, how to hit a receiver, the strike zone, the net. You taught him how to hit the upper corner. You even taught him how to hit the open man. But how much time have you spent teaching him what not to hit?
A lot has happened the past few days on the SlateOnline.com. Brianne Shekels has this week's Slate preview. Brianne?
Coming soon to the SlateOnline.com. We will cover field hockey's match against Kutztown at home. Other stories include a Greek life feature story, an update to the Shippensburg shooting, and the community's reaction. Be sure to check out these news stories online at theslateonline.com.
The Ship Rec Center is offering a variety of new group fitnesses classes. But what different options do students have?
SUTV's Marley Bowman has this week's Know Your Ship. Marley?
For this week's Know Your Ship, I headed over to the Shipwreck to learn more about the group exercise classes. Check it out. At the Shipwreck, we offer many different group exercise classes for you to get your groove on, one of which being Zumba, which today I have decided to also do.
Zumba is an activity featuring movements inspired by various styles of American Latin dance. It is highly popular, but harder than you would expect. Along with Zumba, they also offer HIIT, yoga, jump fit, and spinning. I spoke with Ashley Smith, who said, quote, "They're a really good opportunity to let students get active in a fun environment."
Everybody seems to really like the Zumba and spin classes. We even had a spin class with the president, Lori Carter, so that was cool.
All classes are held in Ship Rec Room 107, and all equipment is provided.
For more information, visit ship.edu/recreation or email rec@ship.edu. That's it for Know Your Ship. I'm Marley Bowman. Now let's head back to the desk.
The Turkish military is taking action against Kurdish forces in Syria.
Here's Brady Fisher with this week's World News. Brady?
Turkey's military launched an offensive in northeast Syria Wednesday to push U.S.-backed Kurdish forces away from its border. The move comes days after President Donald Trump announced that U.S. troops would pull back from the area, prompting a storm of criticism. Trump has called the Turkish offensive, quote, "a bad idea." 3 civilians were killed and others wounded Thursday when their convoy was struck during a Turkish military operation in northern Syria. This brings us to a total of at least 11 confirmed dead. Kurdish forces said Wednesday that at least 8 people were killed in the first day of Turkey's offensive. Turkey says its goal is to root out terrorists in the region. But what Turkey calls terrorists have been America's allies, namely the Syrian Kurds, who helped the U.S. immensely in the fight against ISIS. Turkey says it hit more than 100 targets on the first day. And Kurdish forces say a prison holding ISIS detainees was bombed. Civilians are fleeing by the hundreds. Turkey hopes to clear the way to return the millions of Syrian refugees it has in camps. The first 3 days of Extinction Rebellion's 2 weeks of protests in London saw the shutdown of Westminster, hundreds of arrests, and a mass nurse-in by mothers who marched onto Downing Street. On Thursday, activists are holding a sit-in at London City Airport. They plan to shut down the airport for 3 days, Hong Kong style, by occupying the terminal building. From the hardwood to hardball, a tweet from an NBA team has China pulling the plug on NBA games for basketball fans in its country. This standoff also affects a long-running animated comedy. Meanwhile, the Trump administration takes action towards Chinese officials. John Lorink reports.
The ball is in China's court, but the Chinese won't be able to see it.
Everyone needs to be clear that if you are doing business in China, your political views will be sanitized in favor of the Beijing government.
China says it will not air or stream the NBA preseason games played in its country. This after Daryl Morey, the general manager of the Houston Rockets, tweeted support for the ongoing pro-democracy protests in Hong Kong. He later deleted the tweet.
We are not apologizing for
Daryl exercising his freedom of expression.
Chinese broadcaster CCTV says it's also taking a close look at its overall relationship with the NBA.
We are, at the end of the day, an American-based company. Of course, we do business all around the world, but those values, those mores travel with us.
This Chinese crackdown has stretched to more than just basketball.
And anybody who would betray their ideals just to make money in China isn't worth a lick of spit.
The show South Park has basically gone from China's internet because of the episode Banned in China, which addresses how the U.S. entertainment world works to avoid offending China's censors. The show's creators offered a sarcastic apology to China on Twitter. Meanwhile, Secretary of State Mike Pompeo announced visa restrictions Tuesday on Chinese officials suspected of detaining and abusing millions of Uyghur Muslims and other minorities. I'm John Lawrence reporting.
That's it for this week's World News. Back to you guys at the desk.
After the break, Downton Abbey finishes its first week of its big motion picture debut.
And America says goodbye to another judge on The Voice.
You know, Jacob, this week was really cold, but I actually like sweater weather.
Yeah, certainly this is an enjoyable time of year for at least us.
Yeah, definitely. Let's take it to Drew Weibel with this week's weather.
Fall break is almost upon us here at Shippensburg University, and just in the nick of time, so is fall weather. Tonight, we're looking at a low of 46. Then tomorrow, we've got bright sunny skies with a high of 69. Looking at the 5-day, high temps are looking to stay between 60 and 70. And with the exception of a rainy Wednesday, the sun should be making an appearance throughout most of the week. However, with lows in the 40s and even a low of 39 on Saturday, you still might want to keep your jackets handy. And speaking of jackets, I've got some comfy ones I've been waiting to break in. Luckily, it looks like I'll get a chance to do so in the coming days. That's this week's weather. Now over to Brandon for entertainment.
The Joker finally hit theaters this past weekend. After a record-breaking opening week that topped $350 million, Todd Phillips' movie Joker is poised to become a historic success. Surrounded by controversy over violent content, as well as the director's political remarks, the film has still managed to make box office expectations. In other movie news, Downton Abbey experienced modest success in its first full week. I saw it myself and was impressed by the historical accuracy, as well as the impressive set and costume design. However, the script will likely fail to capture interest outside of the franchise's existing fan base. Creator and writer Julian Fellows has not announced any further Downton projects at this time. Rihanna shed some light on the rumors from this past Super Bowl halftime show. Rihanna has confirmed rumors that she said no to Super Bowl 2019 to offer support to former NFL star turned activist Colin Kaepernick. The singer, who was born Robin Rihanna Fenty, told Vogue in an interview that she, quote, just couldn't be a sellout, end quote, by performing in the halftime show. Instead, Maroon 5 took the stage. Fenty also said there are NFL practices that she doesn't agree with. Kaepernick, an ex-49ers quarterback, made headlines for kneeling during the national anthem to protest racial inequality and police brutality. The NFL later ruled that players can't kneel on the field and should either stand or wait in the locker room. Gwen Stefani is leaving The Voice. The singer had been a coach on the show along with Blake Shelton, who's also her boyfriend. Coach Adam Levine is also leaving. It was reported Tuesday that Nick Jonas will be joining the judges lineup the upcoming season. He'll compete for singers to join his team alongside continuing coaches Shelton, Kelly Clarkson, and John Legend. An air date has not yet been announced for the season 18 NBC hit. The premiere is set for sometime next year. They were friends on television for 10 seasons. Now 25 years later, their real-life friendship continues to flourish. Monica, Rachel, and Joey, better known as Courtney Cox, Jennifer Aniston, and Matt LeBlanc, posed for this selfie Saturday night. Cox posted it to her Instagram page, much to the delight of Friends fans. She captioned the photo, "A rare night and I love it. Could this picture be any better?" Of course, if the other three besties, Matthew Perry, Lisa Kudrow, and David Schwimmer, were also in it, well, maybe one day they'll finally go for that reunion. That's it for this week's entertainment. I'll see you in 2 weeks.
When we come back in sports, highlights from field hockey and football and PSAC Defensive Athlete of the Week.
We have more after the break.
Shippensburg was back at Seth Grove Stadium this weekend. SUTV Sports' Jordan Hanley has more.
After a missed 42-yard field goal by Shippensburg, senior Paul Dooley finds Gabe Chappelle across the middle for 67 yards to put the Golden Rams up 10-0. On the ensuing drive, Bryson Musina sets up in the shotgun, and look at those wheels. That 10-yard run would set up Luke Durkin on the very next play to put the Raiders down 3. After the kickoff, Dooley looks right, but is picked off by redshirt junior Therese Franklin, setting up the Raiders with perfect field position. That pick would lead to this 13-yard run as Durkin picks up his second touchdown of the game, putting the Raiders up 14-10. But just 5 minutes into the second quarter, Marcus Wilson plows it in from 1 yard out, but the mixed extra point would make it 16-14. Now, Shippensburg defense balled out in this game, forcing 5 turnovers. Look at this interception by redshirt freshman Tyler Simmon right before halftime. Dooley rolls right, but Simmon with the off-balance tip drill one-handed catch and gets the Raiders hype. After the half, on 3rd and a mile, redshirt senior Deontay Wilson says, "Give me that," and comes up with the big interception. And look, he even breaks out the turnover chain. It's icy, blingy, and I'm here for it. After a Golden Ram fumble, Musina hands it off to Durkin for his 3rd touchdown of the game, putting the Raiders up 21-16. But on the 7th play of the very next drive, Jaden McKenzie takes it 18 yards to the house, putting the Rams up 22-21 in the 3rd. With just 2 minutes left in the game, Jaden McKenzie rumbles and stumbles for 30 yards to put the nail in the coffin. 14th ranked Westchester would hold on to win 29-21. For SUTV Sports, I'm Jordan Hanley.
Shippensburg will look to bounce back as they head to Shepherd this weekend. Shippensburg running back and wide receiver Sean Judge was named PSAC Eastern Division Special Teams Athlete of the Week. SUTV's Nolan Huffman has more.
Shippensburg University redshirt sophomore Sean Judge was named PSAC Eastern Division Special Teams Athlete of the Week after playing a huge role against a stout Westchester team. I talked with Judge about his mindset coming into a big game against nationally ranked Westchester.
Well, coming into the game, I didn't really think, I didn't think about them being ranked. Personally, my mindset, I just want to go out there and have fun. I feel like we've all been uptight since our record isn't as great as we want it to be.
Judge had 161 kickoff return yards, which is the most in a single game since Andrew Smith, who had 209 back in 2014. Judge also spoke on his performance last Saturday.
My personal performance, I was happy with the yardage and everything. I would have liked to score or two to go with that, but it was nice having a breakout game like that because I haven't really had anything close to the yardage like that.
Judge finished with 236 all-purpose yards and a team high of 61 receiving yards. It should be noted that no Raider has recorded 200 or more all-purpose yards in a game during the 2017 and 2018 seasons, but the feat has been done in back-to-back weeks, highlighting Luke Durkin's 212 all-purpose yards back in Week 4 against Bloomsburg.
The PSAC recognized another SHIP athlete this week. SUTV's Andrew Hybeck has the story.
Redshirt senior Tig Spinelli received PSAC's Defensive Player of the Week for his part in last Saturday's game against Westchester. Spinelli clocked 13 tackles, 2 of them for a loss, as well as a blocked extra point attempt against the Golden Rams. When asked about his performance, a humble Spinelli had this to say.
I feel like I still could have done better. There were missed opportunities. The last 2 touchdowns at the end, I could have made something happen, and it's disappointing. But it's nice to be recognized for some good that I did.
Now looking forward, Spinelli offered insight on how he thinks the Raiders can shut down Shepherd's offense.
We got to stop the run. That's the big thing that's been hurting us the last few weeks. And if we can stop their run game and then make them throw the ball, that'll hurt. I think that'll hurt them offensively.
This week, the Raiders will face Shepherd's Rams away on Saturday. Shippensburg field hockey team was back in action Tuesday night at Millersville University to take on the Marauders. The Raiders and Marauders were tied at 0 in the 3rd quarter when Yasmin Petratonio makes the pass to junior Emily Stauffer to give the lead to Shippensburg with her first goal of the match. However, late in the 4th quarter, Millersville capitalizes and scores a goal to tie the game at 1 and force overtime. And with 4 minutes left to play, look at this goal by Petratonio to send the Raiders home with the victory. The Raiders field hockey team will be hosting Kutztown this Saturday at 5. Moving on to volleyball, junior setter Emily Hangen was named PSAC Southeast Division Athlete of the Week. Hangen had 76 assists and 30 digs. I had the chance to talk to Emily about what it means to be Athlete of the Week.
To get recognized, but it's obviously a team sport and I couldn't do it without my teammates. We also had Sam Weber earn it week 1 and Gianna Segato earned it last week, but I mean, it's nice. We couldn't do it without my teammates.
Emily also expressed what factors contributed to earning the title of PSAC Player of the Week.
Some of the factors were my passers getting me the ball. Our service speed was really good. We fought till the end, and my hitters putting the ball away.
A big congratulations to Emily on her achievement. Hangen and the rest of her teammates will return to the court tomorrow night at Slippery Rock. In women's soccer, Ship took home the victory from Mansfield yesterday, winning 3-2 in overtime. Ship found themselves in trouble early in the second half, trailing by 2. However, Lauren Acker, freshman, found the back of the net for the Raiders' first goal of the match. But they didn't stop there. The Raiders scored with just 2 minutes to go in the match, sending it into overtime. Taylor Moore finished the game with the golden goal to take home the win over the Mountaineers. Women's soccer will be back in action next Wednesday at Bloomsburg. That's it for sports. Back to Callan and Jacob.
When we come back, a teen comes home to find a large goat asleep in his bathroom, and his hilarious reaction is all caught on camera.
Stay tuned. There are unwanted guests, and then there are really unwanted guests. And a goat that smashes in your back door and takes a nap in your bathroom qualifies as the latter. Jeremy Roth has more. Take a look.
Security cameras captured video of a goat that broke into an Ohio family's home and their teenage son's hilarious reaction to finding it.
Nope. 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 Nope.
The goat had escaped from a nearby farm and smashed its way into the Keithleys' home. It wandered through the house and came to rest in a bathroom. When 18-year-old Logan came home from school and saw the damage, he called his mom. And that's when he discovered the culprit napping in the bathroom.
Nope. 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 Holy there's a goat in the bathroom.
I'll bet that smelled terrific. Like goat puree. Ashland County officials responded, notified the goat's owner, and removed the uninvited guest.
You know, goats eat everything, so I wonder if he ate anything in his bathroom.
Oh, I don't know, but speaking of goats, we have a real goat here at the desk. Mackenzie was able to get the goal to send the game into overtime last night, so congratulations on that.
Thank you. It was definitely a very exciting game.
All right, well, that will wrap things up here. That's it for SUTV News. I'm Jacob Hitz.
And I'm Callan Cole. Don't forget to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at SUTV News, and check out our website, sutvnews.org.
With fall break this weekend, we won't see you next Thursday. SUTV will be back in action in 2 weeks.